And now, Introduce Everything proudly presents Elevenorella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named Elevenorella. Elevenorella had 6 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina. All 6 of them made fun of Elevenorella and made her do all the chores. Elevenor, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, clean out the pantry, do it all, said Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina, all together. One day, the king of Elevenville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of Elevenville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Unicopling. But Elevenorella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Ella. No way, Ella, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Lola. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Asha. Vada said, all 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Elsa. All 4 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, Nina, the youngest stepsister, said. All 5 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, Elevenorella is so sad about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Unicopling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks her Elevenorella what's wrong by saying, There, Elevenorella, why are you crying, my dear? In which Elevenorella responds, I have lots of chores to do, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Unicopling. Elevenorella's fairy godmother can make her wish come true by saying, I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you. And so she waves her magic wand to clean up all the chores for Elevenorella. But she's not done yet, she said. Elevenorella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, Elevenorella has 11 pumpkins and 22 mice. Elevenorella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 11 pumpkins into a handsome coach, 22 mice into horses, and then Elevenor's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. Elevenorella said, I've never seen such a double wonderful gown. You get a load of my glass slippers and climbs into the coach. Her fairy godmother says, have fun, Elevenorella, my dear, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. It gives her a clock to tell her what time it is, and so Elevenorella accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Elevenville says, Good evening, all. My son, Prince Unicopling, was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Unicopling responds, Yes, father. Suddenly, Elevenorella arrives at the ball just in time. Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina say, He's walking towards me altogether, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Elevenorella. May I have this dance? Prince Unicopling then asks, to which Elevenorella responds, I would be delighted. Prince Unicopling and Elevenorella dance happily together. But later, as Elevenorella checks her clock, and it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Unicopling was so worried and sad that he might never see Elevenorella again. The king of Elevenville comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find Cinderella, my dear daughter-in-law, and so the king of Elevenville and Prince Unicorn began their journey all around the neighborhood to try to find Cinderella and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella, Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, and Elsa and Nina all together live. But instead of Cinderella, they find Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina. Prince Unicorn then says, "Ladies, my father, the king of Elevenville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper?" Ella is first, but her foot is too big. Lola is next, but her foot is too small. "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Suddenly, the king of Elevenville and Prince Unicorn noticed Cinderella's sweet singing. She heard excitedly, overjoyed, "Prince Unicorn and your majesty, is that you guys?" The king of Unicorn says, "My dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince Unicorn?" To which Cinderella hollered more overjoyed, "Yes!" And so, Cinderella, the king of Unicorn and Prince Unicorn lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, interest doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and introduce everything. And I've been debating on making the sequels a bit of tradition. So if you want to see maybe someday, or 1102, 11 wishes come true, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and introduce everything, and buy our merchandise at introduceeverything.com. Take care. Bye. Andrew's Doers Introduce Everything roundly presents 33rella for the Frieza 1300 episode special. As the title suggests, it is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman girl named 33rella. 33rella had 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Tilly, Hallie, Ruby, Erin, and Emily. All 11 of them made fun of 33rella and made her do all the chores. 33, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tasha to Emily all together. One day, the king of Troubleville's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Troubleville's royal majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Treasure Toppling." "Can I come?" asked 33rella. But she is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Tasha, the oldest stepsister. But her younger stepsisters disagreed. They even tear 33rella's dress. And her best party dress. Later, 33rella is so sad, distraught, and upset about not going to the ball, marrying Prince Treasure Toppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother rises and comforts her. 33rella, there now, my dear 33rella, she said. "I'll fix everything for you." She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 33rella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 33rella, my dear, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, 33rella has 33 pumpkins and 66 mice. 33rella fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 33 pumpkins into a handsome coach. The 66 mice into horses and fixes 33rella's torn dress and makes it bigger and better. 33rella said, I've never seen such a trigetabletastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers, fairy godmother. How can I ever thank you enough? And climbed into the coach. 33rella's fairy godmother said, well, you can't, but have fun, 33rella, my dear. But I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. Anne gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 33rella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Troubleville, who is very kind, wise, etc., says, good evening, everyone. My son, Prince Trigetupling, was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Trigetupling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, 33rella arrived at the ball just in time. He's walking towards me, say Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Hallie, Ruby, Aaron, and Emily all together. But Prince Trigetupling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 33rella. Prince Trigetupling then says, may I have this dance? In which 33rella responds, I would be delighted. And so 33rella and Prince Trigetupling dance happily together. But later, 33rella checks her clock, and it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Trigetupling was really worried that he might never see 33rella again. The king of Troubleville comforts him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find 33rella, my dear daughter-in-law. And so, the king of Troubleville and Prince Trigetupling began their journey all around Troubleville to find 33rella and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knock on the door of the house where 33rella and her 11 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 33rella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tasha and Emily. Prince Trigetupling then said, ladies, my father, the king of Troubleville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hilda is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits! She said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of Troubleville and Prince Trigetupling noticed 33rella singing. Your Majesty and Prince Trigetupling, is that you guys? She hollered excited. The glass slipper fits! And 33rella and the king of Troubleville and Prince Trigetupling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And I've been debating on making the sequels. So if you want to see maybe someday 33 2, 33 Wishes Come True, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Internet Everything. Buy our merchandise at interneteverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Internet Everything proudly presents 77 Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a plot twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 77 Cinderella. 77 Cinderella had 12 ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters named Sabrina, Estrella, Veronica, Emma, Natalia, Tasha, Yelena, Sophia, Ella, Valeria, Eleonora, and Nina. 12 of them constantly made fun of 77 Cinderella and always made her do all the chores. 77, wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all! Said the 12 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. And then one day, the king of 77ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, that king of 77ville is going to throw a ball and loss with his son, Prince Septa Gin-Toppling. Sabrina, Estrella, Veronica, Emma, Natalia, Tasha, Yelena, Sophia, Ella, Valeria, Eleonora, and Nina ran with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who Prince Septa Gin-Toppling fall in true love with. Later, 77 Cinderella is distraught, upset, and sad about not going to the ball. Whatever will I do? She whimpers. Suddenly, 77 Cinderella's fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There now, 77 Cinderella, I can turn you into a princess with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you, she said. 77 Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand to do all the chores for 77 Cinderella, turn her into a princess's attire, and even a pair of glass slippers appear on her feet. 77 Cinderella says, I've never seen such a Gin-Toppling-tastic gown, and I love my new glass slippers. But how am I going to get to the ball? Fortunately, 77 Cinderella's fairy godmother turned 77 pumpkins and 150 mice into a handsome coach drawn by horses. 77 Cinderella's says, Oh, fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? Says 77 Cinderella. Her fairy godmother says, Well, you can't. But I had fun, 77 Cinderella. But I will warn you to return home before midnight. That's when the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 77 Cinderella accepts the warning. At the ball, the wise and kind king of 77ville asks, Wondering who's your true love? Prince Septa Gin-Toppling, in which Prince Septa Gin-Toppling responds, Yes, father. 77 Cinderella arrives at the ball just in time. Prince Septa sees who is his true love. Walks straight towards her. He's walking towards me, said Sabrina, Estrella, Veronica, Natalia, Emma, Tasha, Yelena, Sophia, Ella, Valeria, Eleanor, and Nina all together, but Prince Septa Gin-Toppling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 77 Cinderella. He then says, You must be my true love, 77 Cinderella. May I please have this dance? Yes, said 77 Cinderella, overjoyed. And so, Cinderella and Prince Septuagintupling dance happily sing 77 as they dance, while the wise and kind King 77 watches them happily. Come on, 77 let's dance together. We'll be best friends forever. Who else could it be when both of us are in 77 heaven? Come on, Prince Septuagintupling, let's dance together. We'll be best friends forever. We're both in 77 heaven. But soon, 77-year-old realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. The next day, the king of 77ville and Prince Septuagintupling traveled all around the neighborhood 77ville to find 77 who captured Prince Septuagintupling's heart and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. If they can find Prince Septuagintupling's true love, that they can get married. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 77 and her ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 77 they find her ugly, mean, and wicked stepsisters: Sabrina, Estrella, Veronica, Emma, Natalia, Tasha, Yadina, Sofia, Ella, Valeria, Eleanor, and Nina. Prince Septuagintupling then says, "Ladies, my father, the king of 77ville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this slipper? Sabrina, the oldest stepsister, is first, but her foot is too big. Estrella is next, but her foot is too small." "Nonsense! It fits!" she said. The rest did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Just then, 77 arrives. She looks rather familiar. She then tries the glass slipper on and transforms back into a princess. And the king of 77ville and Prince Septuagintupling live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and it everything. And I've also been debating on completing a number of Cinderella parodies in the 70s of a tradition. Maybe I could do it a daily tradition that the numbers that start with the number 7. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and everything. Buy our merchandise at everything.com. Andrews Doers. Take care. Bye.